Hi, this is Laura with Stampin' Coast to Coast, independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. How's everybody doing tonight? I am so excited to be on with you tonight. I feel like it's been a million years since I have joined you, and I'm excited to do some crafting tonight. Let me just make sure I'm seeing all of my little comments coming through. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed seeing some family, got to be inside for a change, got to, just spend some good time with family that we haven't been able to because of COVID for the past couple years. And I hope you all did as well. Yeah, I'm looking in the video here. I just got my hair chopped. Have you ever gone to the hairdresser and asked just for just a tiny bit off, and next thing you know, you saw inches hitting the floor? I was like, ah! But I am excited to get a nice fresh cut. I'm sure with COVID, it was long overdue that I was working out of the house and really not going out much, so not really needing a haircut. And now I feel so much better for the holidays to have a nice, healthy cut, even though it was a little more than I anticipated. I have been jet setting around again because of COVID. I haven't gone many places, but we did a little trip to Vegas. Here, let me just adjust this light just a tiny bit. I know you're seeing the glare in my glasses. Sorry about that. But we went to Vegas for a few days and met up with some family there, and that was nice. That was to celebrate my birthday as well as our anniversary. I have my older sister and I had a double wedding many years ago, and it was a nice anniversary trip for us for our 25th wedding anniversary, as well as my father's birthday and some others I'm sure celebrated lots of occasions. My daughter, my niece, and my cousin all recently turned 21 over the past couple years, so it was their first trip to Vegas as well. So it was about 30 of us, and it was quite an event. Then I don't know what else has been happening. Thanksgiving and everything else, and we had a girls trip to the beach, so I've been kind of in a whirlwind, but I am excited to get back to crafting now and getting ready for the Christmas holidays. Has been fun doing some Christmas cards. I hope you have all enjoyed the mini catalog that has been out with some wonderful Christmas holiday stuff. I know we did a lot of Halloween stuff, and oh, here's my son Brett. Brett, say hi.
Hi.
He's gonna work in here. So yes, so we did some Halloween stuff and we did a little bit of Christmas, but tonight we're going to do a little bit more, and it's a transitional card that can go into January, February, and some other events. As you will see, we are going to be working with a die set called Encircled in Beauty. And look at these dies. Can you not just tell already how fun they're going to be? They are not holiday. They, to me, are like a doily, very lacy, elegant cuts, and so many different varieties of sizes and overlaying, and we're just going to have some fun with that tonight. And there's several different stamp sets that go with this, and I'm going to show you a couple. So you can tell the name of the die set is Encircled in Beauty. And it's actually in the annual catalog on page 70 and page 159, the main pages in the back. And then the coordinating pages that you'll find are the bundle it has for Encircled in Friendship, which I have right here. Oops, sorry. Camera wasn't picking it up at first. Encircled in Friendship, which we're going to see a sample card tonight that I made with flowers and lots of sentiments here that are not holiday. Again, you can do the flowers here are like a circle shape Helps me try not to do it with the camera. Sorry. I'm going to pull back a little bit so you can see it better. But it's got that circle shape to go with it. And then some great sentiments with heartfelt thanks, which coordinates with, in a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind. I thought that was sweet. And then just a note to let you know that someone thought of you. I'm going to flip this to my desk so that you can see this better. So bear with me one second. I don't think me holding in the air is going to do it justice. So I'm going to flip some cords around. And then I'm going to show you this on my desk so that you can see it better. It was silly me not to start that way. All right, here we go. There you go. All right. Encircled in Friendship. And you can see it better now, and I'll pull it up a little bit closer. You can definitely see it better now. You see how that is a circular shape. And just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. Each day is a little brighter. You're in my thoughts with heartfelt thanks. Now, I did think the with heartfelt thanks went with the thank you for being kind sentiment over here. And then I thought you're in my thoughts went well with the just a note, let you know that someone thought of you. So I think of like this on the outside possibly and this on the inside. And you'll see in a little bit, I'll show you a sample card where I did that. I just love these. And these little, you're the best because of you, they are going to fit very nicely if you want onto this framelit, onto this flat section, or into the center of that one. Obviously this one. So, and then this works out really well in the center of that one. So anyway, just some sample. And then the Encircled in Warmth, I think coordinates beautifully with this set as well. And for obvious reasons, things are circular. Joyful Season can go in here. Warm Christmas Wishes. Let It Snow. These are things that I'm going to show you some cards made like that with some of those today. So I just wanted you to see. And I will, we're also going to work tonight with Merry Snowflakes. Because it's got some beautiful snowflakes, and it's also got, look at that, nice big sentiment, season's greetings. And may your days be bright, merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. That's a great one for if you're doing one with snowflakes. I also pulled out a couple others, Holly Jolly Wishes, which I think this might fit on here. Even if it doesn't fit perfectly, you could do a circle a little bit bigger and just cover up a little bit of the doily and it would still all go perfectly. I'm curious. That one is not, I'm being nosy. Which one did I say it was? Merry Christmas to You. Yeah, see, you could do it just a little bit larger circle and it would just overlay just a little bit. Just thought I would point that out. I haven't got to play with this set yet. On the list. All right. And and I wanted to show you, speaking of Thanksgiving, look at these nails. My buddy Jack at the nail salon went a little crazy. Yes. A little bit busy, but look at that cute. Sorry, I'm trying to see if it will it's just not good. There, now it's in focus. You got the turkey here. It's making me mad when it just won't focus. And then this says give thanks. Give thanks. So I assume you guys are probably going to be wondering what in the world my nails say, but give thanks. So, and these are supposed to be, of course, they're turkey feathers. So anyway, that is what silly Laura has on her nails for the holiday season. Let's see. One last one I wanted to pull out that I thought went well with this was in the Merriest Moments set. This together is the merriest place to be, I thought was a nice round-ish sentiment that would go well with this set as well. So that is me going on and on. Hi Akimi, how are you doing today? Saw you pop on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to bring out my little prepped kit here so we can get started today. We are going to make this card right here. It is several layers of the framelit set of different types of variety of specialty paper, and then we're just going to do a nice fun, and this is a I think it's a holiday card, Let It Snow, and that says wishing you love, joy, and happiness this coming year. So it could be a New Year's card or just a general holiday card, not specific to Christmas in any way, of course. So, and then I'll show you some other samples at the end that I did with this set as well. All right. So we're going to get stuff out, and I'm going to tell you, I told you I told you the Encircled and Beauty dies are on page 70 in the annual catalog. I wanted to also mention it does bundle with the Encircled in Friendship, which is on page 70 in the annual catalog. And I wanted to mention that you'll find Encircled in Warmth in the seasonal, the mini catalog, the July to December 2021. This is on page 23 that coordinates for the Christmas sentiments. And some other papers I wanted to show you before we get started, which I will show you some samples as I talk about them. This, I wonder if any of you guys can guess which set that is from. Hang on. I was going to show you, that is from this paper set, which is called Whimsy Wonder. They're 12 by 12 sheets, specialty designer series paper. And the colors that coordinate with this set are Blushing Bride, Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, and Polished Pink. Oh, I just love this set. And it's got the foil that goes through it. And I'll show you real quick some of the other papers that are with this set. I picked the Snowflake. Hi, Anna. I'm so glad you like my nails. I picked the Snowflake from this paper because I thought it went well with the dies. And I'm good. The one side has like the foil. You see all the foil sparkling on this paper. And then the other side has some great stripes and some other, I wanted to show you this one. I think it's so pretty with the trees, just subtle stars and trees. I think that's a great snow one as well. I was tempted to do that one with this same design, but okay. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that paper because I think it's beautiful. And that is in the mini catalog as well. I'm just grabbing my catalog so I can tell you what page that one is on. So bear with me 1 second. That one is on page 25. And this is also the page where we're going to include a snowflake as well. And this is called the Wonderful Snowflakes. It's in like iridescent foil snowflakes. And they come in packs like this. I'm going to go ahead and pop one out. They come out really easy. I need one for tonight's card, so I hate to pull it out before I'm ready because I would not want them to get bent up or anything. And I'll tell you now, when you pull these out, do not discard the paper that it comes out of, because if you punch other little mini snowflakes out of the same iridescent paper, look at that. How fun would that be? You get a lot more use out of this paper than what it was initially intended for. And I'm trying to, oops, see if you can see the different color pickup on this paper. So we're going to use this tonight. I'm just going to put that up there. But that's on this page and as well. So I just wanted you to see. And that is part of the Whimsy and Wonder Suite. Okay. And then we are going to pull out, this is, you can't really see in this camera, but this is called Snowy White Velvet Sheets. They come in sheets of 12 by 12, and it's on page 37 in the mini catalog, but it's really soft. And I just thought like it would give an extra dimension to this card to do the layer in the felt sheet. So velvet sheet, sorry. So I'm going to set that up there. We talked about this paper. This is Smoky Slate cardstock, and I'll go over the measurements in a moment. This is silver foil. This is part of the silver foil 12 by 12 specialty pack, which is in the mini catalog on page 23. And there are 3 different shades of silver. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I had any others to show you real quick. These are the other 2 colors. Comes in a pack of 3 different shades. And I'm trying to pick up the light for you. This one's really light. And then there's these 2 colors. And I think if I was to do this card again, I would probably do like the lighter silver. Kind of grabbed the middle color, but I think the lighter would even be better, right? So, you know what? I think we're going to do that tonight. Let's cut a piece of that for the top one, which I think is 3 by 3, but let me just check. Yep. So that's a 3 by 3. And if you'll forgive me, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Up! Cutter, and I'm going to cut a 3 by 3. I'm going to change this card up. Why not, guys? Now that I look at it, I'm like, I want to lighten this one up. So, I love working with the metallics. I think they're wonderful. Gives a little bit more excitement to my cards. And let me see, what did I do with that other piece? Oh, this is one of those things where you guys probably see it and I don't. Okay, well, I'm going to cut another one. I can see what I cut it from. So it is going to be a 4 by 4. So forgive me, but we are going to, oh, I say that, you know what, I'll go ahead and cut it, because I'll make one later, but I say that, but then I realize I did already put the framelits through for you just to speed things up. But, oh, I'm tempted. I'm going to have, hey, Brett.
Yeah.
Can you cut something for me real quick, baby?
Of course.
Can you just cut these 2 items for me? It's nice to have a helper in the room. Ha ha ha. This is going to go with this one, and this is going to go with this one.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. Here's the cutter right here. And just use the, this bottom one goes on top because it's not all scratched up. Whenever you're doing metallic, make sure you use the newest plate that you have for your cutter so that your metallic paper doesn't get scratched. All right, so we have an envelope which we will decorate a little bit. And we'll just start the card while my little helper is cutting the paper. Just gonna go ahead and start assembling things. I had my bone folder out a moment ago. Here it is. Just wanted to hide. Okay. These little bone folders help to make it nice crease. And I'm using thick basic white cardstock, which is 4 1/4. I'm so sorry, I do that every time. It's 5 1/2. So this side is 5 1/2. This is 8 1/2, the long way. And it's sorry, I'm having trouble today. And then I creased it at 4 1/4. So there we go. So, and because I'm using the thick basic white, I'm going to be able to stamp right on it on the inside. So we'll stamp in just a moment. And then, actually, let's go ahead and do that because I always like to stamp first. And that way things are drying while I'm putting other things together. So I'm going to use this smoky slate. Move some things to the side. All right, so for the inside, I did use pardon my reach. I used the sentiment, wishing you love, joy, and happiness this coming year. And I just did it with smoky slate. If you have a nice juicy ink pad, it will come out nice and dark enough for the sentiment. If you don't, if yours is getting drier, you might want to use a basic gray so that it's dark enough. Or of course you can always use Memento Black if you like it really crisp, but I wanted it to be a softer design because I thought that went well with the pink. So I'm just going to line things up. I'm standing up so that it's hopefully there we go. Here we go. And then I'm going to take a couple snowflakes, and there's so many options, but I love the ones in the Merry Snowflakes stamp set. And for this, what I plan to do is stamp off so that it's a softer, lighter overlay. My husband loves, oops, I missed. My husband loves the watermark effect. So the words shine through or stand out, however you want to word it. But then there's a little bit of fun to it. Anna's having a heart attack with my ink pad. I'll close it, Anna. Don't panic. There you go. All better. So, and that's all I'm going to use that ink pad for anyway. So it is gone. No more stress. But thank you for the concern. All right, so that's the inside. So we'll set this aside to dry. Even though it takes like 1 second to dry, I still like to do that ahead of time. And you'll notice there's one other sentiment, the Let It Snow. So I'm going to grab the Let It Snow, And for this, I just need a piece of white cardstock, which I should have measured. Let's see. Let's do like, oh, I need to get my framelit out to measure that one. Hold on one second. So the only thing I didn't pre-cut, sorry guys. So you get out your framelit and you just measure. I think it's about 2. Yeah, I think a 2 by 2 will work. I have a piece of basic white. Let me just cut it down. Just gonna cut it down to 2 by 2. There you go. Actually, Brett, hold on one second. If you needed another piece, which size did you need? Because that's not the right size. Sorry, Brett had a malfunction at the machine. The smaller one?
Yes.
So, and that's a 3 by 3. Let me just cut you another piece real quick. Do you know what you did wrong, or do you need help?
It just didn't cut all the way through.
Oh, okay. For framelits that have more detail to them, it's actually best if you cut it upside down in the machine, because there's a little more pressure at the top. So, whoops, I don't want to step on my... Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. I'm gonna find the other ones. I think we will be just fine. Thank you though, Brett. Just hand me back that gray piece that you were about to use.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we're all good. Thank you for trying though. Sorry. Brett has not done this stuff before, so I feel bad that I was asking to do that. So again, going back to this, we have the white, and we're going to be doing embossing powder. And don't worry, I have already prepared one, but I did want to show what I used. Oh. Oh, here it is. I was like, what did I do with my silver? Here it is, right here. I used silver embossing powder to make the Let It Snow. And if you can see it, it's kind of raised effect. So all you have to do is take you can take gray ink if you don't have Versamark and just use that, but you can also use the Versamark. And the way the Versamark is, you stamp. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking for my little. I know I already had it mounted. Here it is. You just take the Let It Snow. And this is clear, but it's really, oh, thank you, Phoebe. I'm glad you like the card. So you just take the stamp, use the Versamark, and you can't see it. I could work really hard, but you're still not going to see it. Not very well anyway. And then you take the embossing powder. This is the silver. And I'm just going to take a piece of plain white paper to pour over, so I have something to pour back into the bottle. And sorry, got a little on my edging. So you take that to rub off a little bit. If it does do that, I did it kind of fast. Be a little more precise. And then you take the embossing tool, which is kind of like a hair dryer, but it doesn't blow. And before I do that though, for all of you, especially Anna, I'm going to move this aside. I'll pour it back in the bottle in a minute, but for now I'm just going to move it to the table behind me. All right, close this up because I don't want anything in my Versamark. All right, so I was like, where did I put it? So the fun part of this, and I'm going to, I'm trying to look to see if there's a, I know there's a mute button. I just don't usually use the mute button. Up there it is. I'm going to mute. Yes, save the powders. I love my powders, BB. Oh my gosh, embossing is the best. I'm going to just mute this a second while I do it. So just watch it change colors. I just love doing that. Do you see how pretty that silver is? Oh my gosh. I just think it's gorgeous. So that quickly you transition a sentiment into something pretty fancy. And then I'm going to take this framelit to cut this out. Yes, baby, I agree. I love this sentiment. And then by the magic of television, this is what comes out. And again, I have the nice metallic sentiment. And then I'm going to grab, I'm just going to try and show you how I layered. First I have that, and then I grab the metallic, the iridescent snowflake I mentioned. That's going to go underneath. And then my next layer is going to be, hey Brett, did you have that? Never mind. I took a piece of silver and I did a 3x3, and I took, sorry, where did my framelits go? Oh, Brett, can you hand me my framelits back? I've never had a helper in the room. This is nice. Okay. Because these are all round, the cut's going to be all the same. So 3x3, which I'm sorry I don't have it here to show you, but just cut it 3x3. And then you put it through with this framelit, and you get this beautiful doily shape. So that's going to be next. And then we take two framelits together. You take two together because for this one, and this is going to be on the white, this is the snowy white specialty paper, velvet, so nice. I'm going to put it together because, let me see if I have a sample of what happens if you don't. I don't have a sample. Well, the point is that if you don't use the outside layer, it does not cut. Oh, I do have a sample. I thought I kept one. If you don't use the outside ring, this is what would happen. Okay? Which, as you can tell, would make some beautiful cards to put that on. Trying to think what you could put it on to see. That's not a dark color. Hang on, let me just take this magnet off and I'll show you. this would be beautiful on some cards. So I just wanted you to see that. And then that's why you have to put the outside framelit on to further cut out the doily all the way. So it actually is wonderful to give you some options. So you put these together and they do really easily go together. And I use some Scotch repositional tape. You can use some washi tape, whatever you're using to hold your framelits in place. And you just put it on here and put it through together. Hi, Sherry. So glad you could join us tonight. So you put these through together and you're going to get the next layer, which by the power of television video, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to just show you that's going to go under here. Now, before I put that under, there's one other thing that I did is I took that same outer framelit and I cut out just a piece of basic gray, which I cut a 4x4 piece of paper, which was the same size of the snowy white was 4x4. And you just cut that out. And this is smoky slate, basic cardstock. And then it comes out just this shape. So what we're going to do is glue this to give it some dimension and a solid background. So that's going to go underneath there. And then the final one is going to be this guy. Last but certainly not least, love this little doily shape. And the center does not punch out. I did some more metallic paper. And that's going to go on the bottom. So, yes, you might think that with all these layers, I didn't use dimensionals, and I thought I wouldn't, but you know, in the end, I actually did. The very top I did, but you can put that at any layer. So let's just start putting it together real quick for you. I'm going to build it onto the card though. So let's just start here. And I did take some of this beautiful glittered organdy ribbon, which I'll tell you is in the mini catalog on page 37. It's called White 3/8 inch glittered organdy ribbon. Again, page 37. Very pretty. And it's neat that it has the pink. I don't know if I can get it in the camera, but it's got some pink glitter to it, so it just comes out perfectly. So I'm just going to cut it down real briefly, just enough to, I'm going to glue it around, and then I'm going to make the bow afterward. So just going to cut that down. Oh, don't you just hate when the other side is so pretty? Makes me sad every time. And I'm just going to put a little strip of glue on either side. Wrap it around real quick. Just glue that on. Oops. Of course, I didn't put it low enough. It's the beauty of putting the strip down. You don't have to figure it out ahead of time. And yes, I have Stampin' Seal from Stampin' Up! That I love, but I ran out, so I had to use a knockoff brand, but I do highly recommend the Stampin' Up! Stampin' Seal Plus is amazing. Okay, so let's get that on. You just have to do the ribbon first. So, and now you just put them on in reverse order. So, I'm going to start with this one. And then For this, you don't have to put it on first, but I do. And what I love to use is a silicone. I don't know if you guys have seen me do this with, I know I did it with Halloween cards. Sorry, there's a puppy fur there. I grab some of my multi-purpose liquid glue, put it in the corner, take a dauber or a sponge or something, and I flip it over. I always make sure it's clean, my mat, before I start. Spread it out. I don't want a big glob. And of course you can always use the, look at that, I had ink on this. Oh well, I want to see it on this side. I thought this was my glue dauber. It must have been my yellow or my orange. Oh well. Do as I say, not as I do. But, oh sorry, that distracted me, how funny. Yes, there's adhesive sheets you can use if you don't like doing this, but it's pretty easy to put a little bit of glue on like that. I'm going to move this over. It will be back in a minute. I'm glad you heard something new tonight, Sherry. So we have, the other thing nice about liquid glue is it's a little forgiving. You can kind of shift it a tiny bit so it gets on there real nice. Isn't that pretty? Okay, sorry. Love pretty things. So then we're going to put this on, and I'm going to do it off center from the other. So this one I'm going to do a little bit so those peaks show through. Boom. Then we'll grab the next biggest one. This has a nice center area. And this is where you could do dimensionals if you wanted to. This is another good spot to do that, but I'm going to skip it and keep going. So I'm trying to make sure that's centered. Hopefully I nailed it. And then the next one is going to be this iridescent snowflake. Glad you, ooh, look at me. Where is Anna? Supposed to warn me. Phoebe, I'm glad you like the velvet on there. I think it's, I don't know why, it just seems to, like it just adds a little something. Basic white cardstock would probably be perfect, but I just love that. Now I'm trying to make sure I'm making the iridescent side up because you want to be able to see that sparkle or that shimmer along with the paper, which I'll show you in a minute if you didn't see it already. There is some metallic in the paper. And you can always put a glue dot in the middle if you want. All right, there we go. And let's see, I'm just eyeballing, doing a dry run. Where do I want? I just need to make sure it's centered. Boom. And then I'm going to move this out of the way because hopefully I am done with my silicone mat, which I think is the best invention since sliced bread for crafting. Look at this. I'm sorry, guys. I have so much encroaching on my craft space. Does that happen to you guys? And then I'm going to take my beautiful sentiments and I'm going to, yeah, as you can tell, two-sized every piece of paper. I think every time I have a video, you guys see the back side has a mistake. Oh well. Nobody is going to see that messed up Let It Snow. All right, so peeling off my dimensional backs. Let it snow right in the middle. Boom. And then I want to do a little bow. While I'm doing the bow, maybe you guys can tell me. Yeah, Sherry, I love two sides. While I am making a bow, you guys can tell me if you think I should put bling on here. I did get out some bling, which of course is eluding me right this minute. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I got out some rhinestones. There's lots, of course, bling options, but I don't know if this needs any more bling. So you guys can tell me as I make a little bow. And I am not a bow master, so I probably should not do this on video. Sherry says bling always. Okay, we'll add some bling. I think so too. I'm a bling girl too. All right. Never do a bow on video. I should do them in ahead of time. I tend to keep shrinking them down and starting over. I have to puff it back up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to give it some wings. There we go. Love this ribbon, and I'm going to adhere this with a glue dot. I don't know about you guys, but I really love glue dots. I'm shocked I didn't use it for that center of the snowflake. Of course I am. There it is. It was eluding me. I tend to put it on the glue dot and then take it off together. And I'm just going to put that right on there. And then I think they both need some glue dots. I'm going to get out my take a pick tool because I always need a little help picking up my bling. So look how fast and easy this card was. But if you look at it, doesn't it look like I spent a week on it? I think that if you did a card like this and you sent it to someone, they would think that you spent a ton of time and effort on this, when really these framelits just help you boom, 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 knock it out. And you can have a lot of fun and variety. And in a minute, after I finish my bling, I'm going to put it in the center of the snowflake there. Huh, I hid my snowflake, that one. You can see snowflake there. Well, kind of hides it, but all right. My putty, I got a little overzealous. When you twist these for the putty to come out, which is what helps you stick to the rhinestones, don't twist too much. Don't do a Laura. Let's see. Ugh, I have to get some of this putty off. It's driving me insane. Sorry. Got a little overzealous on camera. Oh, you're right, Sherry. You called it. This bling is really pretty. Oh, this one just calls for a little more. Sorry. People say you should do it in odd numbers. So there you go. One has 3, one has 5. Okay, so that is that. And there is our cards. Isn't that cool? And I did want to show some variety. And I'm so glad Sherry joined us. I have one of a couple cards that she inspired me on, that she did their last stamp camp, that used this same framelit set. Look how pretty that is. Thank you, Sherry. And then I wanted to show you last night, I had another play with another card because I wanted to show you that it didn't have to be Christmas. So I used the Encircled in Friendship to do one. And that was, again, this stamp set that is part of the bundle that comes with this framelit set, the dies. And I just had so much fun. And I just colored it with the blends. And the interesting thing here, this was the lace. This is the Very Vanilla 3/8 inch scalloped lace trim ribbon on page 140 in the annual catalog. And I thought this trim ribbon, this lacy ribbon, sorry, I just wanted to show you. It kind of, I thought, really pulled together the doiliness of this framelit set. And I also want to point out that if your paper behind is busy than what you want to show through, but you don't want to layer it up with other colors, I used vellum. There's some great vellum. Yes, Sherry, I love the fact that I can totally envision this framelit set being for any occasion. It could be Christmas, it could be, you know, New Year's, it could be birthday, it could be thank you. You know, I thought this was, and even like we talked about earlier on, if you heard me, this stamp set has some that are just like, you're in my thoughts. You could have that, you know, and then just a note to let you know someone thought of you today. I thought was really sweet for the inside. Now it could be for any occasion. And I just did that watermark again with the flower that comes with the stamp set. So I just thought that was fun. And we have so many different papers that coordinate, so. And this one probably could use some bling too, right guys? But I'll come back to do that. So I wanted you to see some great things to go with this set. So I'm back. Oh, sorry. Banging into things. So what'd you guys think? I hope you guys have some fun with your Encircled in Beauty die set. Well, guys, I do also want to announce that I was trying to do my Facebook Lives every Tuesday, but with 4 kids and, you know, working full time, it's just too much to do every week. So I think I'm going to do twice a month, maybe the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month instead of every Tuesday. That way I have a Tuesday to prep and play, and then a Tuesday to do my Facebook Live. And this way, hopefully, we will get to see each other more. So, oh, hi, Kathy. I'm sorry I didn't see you join, but I'm glad you like the cards. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. I really enjoy doing this, no stress involved. Someone asked me if I'm getting stressed out. No, this is great. My only stress is when I can't see you because I'm too busy. That causes stress, but that's only because I want to have the fun. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and I'll be here. Have a good night, guys. Bye.